Hello, and welcome to the Distance Learning Explainer video by me, Elizabeth Swanson, for EDU 534, Effective Pedagogy for Higher Education at Grand Canyon University. Distance learning is a method of learning in which students do not have to be physically present at a school. With distance learning, often the professor and the student never meet face-to-face, but communicate primarily through the internet, or as originally was done, professors and students would communicate via mail. Distance learning can be referred to as distance education, correspondence classes, however you want to refer to it. Distance learning is really just the method where you can learn without being physically present in the classroom. Online learning is learning with the assistance of the internet. That can be done in a traditional classroom setting with internet tools, or it can be done by anybody, anywhere, with the assistance of any sort of device that has internet access. It can often be confusing to understand the difference between distance learning and online learning. And while they do have much in common, here are a couple of the key differences between distance learning and online learning. First of all, distance learning does not necessarily have to include the internet. You can learn through distance by mail, through the radio, through television. It can include any sort of learning that is done without the internet, but it is something that includes a professor and a student and an official grade, whereas online learning can be formal or informal. Online learning can be used as a tool in the classroom where a teacher uses YouTube or Skype to enhance the learning experience, or it can be informal. It can be somebody who is looking up something on Google at a coffee shop. Any kind of learning that you're doing using the internet is online learning. So it can be formal or informal, and not necessarily for a grade, but just simply for one's own enrichment. In the digital information age in which we live, there are all sorts of ways for students to learn online. They can take an online college course, they can look up a TED Talk, look up something on YouTube, can connect with somebody via Skype, or use apps like Duolingo to learn new languages, even just downloading an ebook. There are all sorts of ways for students to get involved in learning with the internet. Distance learning has come a long way since it was pretty much invented in the past couple hundred of years. It began with students and professors mailing each other back and forth, but it evolved with the invention of the radio and the television, and eventually in the 1990s started to evolve into what we know it today with online education. Some of the best practices in planning and designing online experiences include the following. First of all, create a clear syllabus and content outline so both you and the student are 100% on the same page as to what will be taught throughout the course and what the expectations are. Remember your audience, remember who it is that's going to be taking your class. Make the content accessible, clearly communicate your expectations, and give constructive and as immediate feedback as possible. Online learning is only going to continue to grow throughout the years. Social learning is going to become a bigger deal with the rise of social media and collaborative things such as Skype and Google Docs. It's only going to become more social. Webinars will become included more often, where students can actually log in and watch a live seminar or lecture happening. And then learning is also going to become more accessible through mobile devices, so that you no longer will need to sit down at a computer or a laptop to conduct your class, but you can just access it from your phone from anywhere, as more and more people do most of their internet usage simply on their phone or other device.